How we doing, guys? Been a hot minute since I made a friggin' video, but here we go. 1996 Yamaha Big Bear 350. I did a friggin' walk around this one a couple years ago, and she's had a decent amount of work done to it since then. So we'll just start, I guess, from front to back. Redone all pretty much everything in the front end. Not the entire front end, but almost everything. So she's a little dirty right now because I went for a good, I don't really know, 40-mile maybe ride yesterday. And yeah, she got a little covered. But it's got new front shafts. It's got new front bearings and seals. It's got new all front master cylinders all the way around. Not even rebuilt the old ones, it's brand new all the way around. It's got new front brake cables, or brake pads, I should say. It's got the new rear brake cables. The fronts I haven't changed. I changed the rear. So it's got new front brake pads. I had wheel spacers I put on there because I just wanted to try it out for a little bit. Didn't really like it. I mean, not only did it throw, because tires are already sticking out a little bit from the fenders anyway as it is, and then the wheel spacers come out, and then you're freaking getting covered in freaking mud and stuff, so I ripped those off, and I didn't really like the way it made it too wide anyway, where it already turns like, holy crap, full-time 4, it takes forever to freaking take a turn, so I was like, nah, frig those things, and the extra weight, so all kinds of negatives. I mean, yeah, it made more freaking track stable, but nah, I didn't really care for that too much, so I just ripped those off, and I kept the nuts, though, that came with it, because I kind of like the shiny silver on the black rims. It looked pretty good. It had a winch on the front. I think I said that. And, of course, I haven't even freaking watched that video since I did it years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. But it had a winch on there. That was junk, so we ripped that off. That didn't work, and I just haven't freaking bought another one yet. I got a light bar. That was like a freaking $13 eBay special. Put that on there. She's mint. Not quite as bright as I'd like it to be, but for $13, hey, can't beat it. I think that's it for the front. Yeah, I haven't done any of the U-joints or anything like that, so I can't remember. I think it's because I was just ripping it around a little while ago, and it really wasn't messing up all that bad. But sometimes when you're going, I can't remember if it's left or right because it hasn't done it in a little while, but it was a little span of time where like you take either left or right hand turn, you'd kind of hear it clicking a little bit, but it stopped doing it, so I don't really know. It's got Meyer handguards on there made for the Big Bear, so everything fits in perfectly, just the way it should. Got new grips on there because the old ones were, when freaking grips get old and nasty, they get all, you grab them, they're all sticky, and you got freaking nasty stuff on your hands, so put new grips on there. It's got a new rear brake lever. It's got a new front brake reservoir up here. A little thumb buddy freaking throttle extender there. 2-up seat. I actually put that on there, and it's kind of shitty because I repop riveted everything and made it all mint. And now we were going through, I'm talking bushwhacking, bushwhacking. We went through some tight stuff. And I went through some tight trees, and it freaking squeezed the 2-up seat right close together, freaking compressed that thing. And then when it did, this whole freaking top right here, boom, shot straight up, landed on the ground. And I was like, oh, you gotta be shitting me. Because we spent, I don't even know, probably like an hour re-drilling holes and pop riveting the thing. And then all of a sudden, yeah, of course, first ride, fucking boom, done. So that was good. So from now on, if I do bushwhacking, that seat comes right off there. So she's bungee corded just for the moment. And then I also lost a little friggin' clip piece that this hooks onto, and I had the friggin' latch too, because it was it's like a safety precaution. So if the person on the back is, grabbing a hold of this, they flick that, they ain't gonna be able to pull this up and then have the whole thing come flying back because you got the little latch on there. That was just a little modification that me and my dad did. That on there. Yeah, so let's see what else. Was obviously got new tires. I got ambush, front and rears. And obviously, you can tell by looking at it, they're a lot smaller than the original ones that were on there. The originals were 25s. These are 23s. I kept everything else the same size, though, so I just 2 inches shorter. And I didn't really know how low it was going to make it. I knew it was going to make it handle better because all the riding we do, like one day, like Saturday or Sunday, whatever, we usually do, a good weekend's worth of riding, but one day we'll put in 110 miles. So I wanted something because, really full-time four-wheel drive ain't really made for long rides anyway. It's really more like, trails and a work buggy, around the house or whatever. But I wanted to put something on there so if I do go on longer rides with it, it's just not quite as hard on the machine. You get a little bit more power out of it, not so much like, freaking bogging down because you got these big, heavy freaking boat anchor tires. And they're not bad. That's just the only freaking gripe I have with it is how low it made it. It's lower than freaking, I had my dad's Rancher next to it, and then my cousin's Recon, and my buddy's 4Trax 300. I've had all the wheels compared to it, and this thing is just super low. It's as low, if not lower than a racing wheel is, so it's really not all that good. It bottoms out quite a bit if you're not freaking careful. They don't take much, though. A little rock sticking up, and you'll freaking bottom right out. Another cool thing is it's also got, for the 2-up seat, passenger foot pegs, so they're sitting riding comfy, I'll have to probably post the video, because I did swamp this thing a couple weeks ago. I did 10 oil changes, and that was about $100, and she's mint now, but what had happened was I just went through a water hole. Went through it once because it was just the way that I had to go. Just my cousin wanted me to freaking hit this little water hole, so I was like, all right, good. And I made it through it the first time, no problem. And I really didn't want to have to go back through it because it was over the rack, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to flood this thing. And couldn't get out because the way it come out at the end of the water hole. It's like a really steep bank on both sides, and there was no way you were freaking getting out of it. So I was like, fuck. All right, well, I guess I got to go back through it. So I freaking turned around, went to go back through it, and of course, there was a log that I must have rode over the first time just because it was angled like that. So I kind of rode over it, and of course it's angled like that, so on the way back, it freaking caught my belly plate on the bottom, and again, with these tires, it's really low. So she bottomed right out, and yeah, that was it. And flooded it right through the freaking pipe and air filter box and everything, and I had to drive it 7 miles home like that, and I couldn't even believe it. I dumped oh my god, motor was just loaded. It would scare you. A deep, good-sized oil pan filled it overflowing. There was a lot of water in there, a lot. And I'm lucky that there's no tick or knock or smoke or nothing. It didn't do anything to that engine. Did 10 oil changes with all freaking top-of-the-line oil. That's why it was so expensive. And she's mint. So, yep, there's that. But, like I said, runs like a charm. It's got a new DG exhaust because the old one was junk. I'll have to take a walk over and show you guys that one here in a minute. And it's got new rear bearings and seals. I think I still got the original battery. I think that was in there. I got new rear brake cables, like I said earlier. And then the ball hitch, that was already on there. Well, new oil filter, obviously. I went through friggin' 2 of those. Well, 3, really. The one that was in there, and then 2 new ones. While doing the oil changes. So then I got 1 that's on there, so really 4 altogether. 1 that was on there, and then I had 3 new ones. And then I got 1 that's on there right now. New air filter. New carburetor. New fuel lines, obviously, come with the carburetor anyway. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. It's everything that I've done to it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and fire the old friggin' old girl up. One of my buddies friggin' used to have a Big Bear 350. He called it Swamp Donkey. So let's see. Sometimes she likes a little throttle, but we'll just see. There we go. She's mint. Runs like a charm after about friggin' over 2 gallons of water in her, and she still runs mint. Not a friggin' tick or knock or smoke or nothing. She is mint, really though. And while I was draining it was really a bitch. I don't plan on going to water like that again. I don't know. I kind of turned me off from like going through really deep water, because 10 times of having to drain the friggin', not only the friggin' nut that friggin' goes on the friggin', you know, where you normally drain the oil on the bottom of the engine, it's also got a friggin' crankcase bolt that I was looking in the manual, and I guess this is the only year out of all the big bears that actually has that crankcase bolt. And then I was also draining the friggin' oil cooler too, so I mean I was draining 3 different things constantly, and putting it back in, putting oil in it, running it for a second, dumping it, and Jesus. Yeah, it was a pain in the nuts. But she's mint now though. So yeah, the back right up. Give you a good walk around of it. Definitely plan on doing a lot more videos now, especially the way the freaking coronavirus has been going. I should have been doing more anyway, but it's really, I mean, last time I friggin' was making videos, I didn't have a friggin' job, so I didn't friggin' have any money to friggin' go out and buy more toys, and have any money to friggin' go do nothing, so, and then I ended up working, not really making videos, nothing, because my hours friggin' suck. So, try my best to get back into it anyway, because, I don't know, it is fun. But, alright, yeah, that's been the friggin' Big Bear 350. Definitely, like I said, try to do more videos. But, yeah, you guys take care. Have a good one.